Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, another brand new day. Another brand new day in which my dentures barely fit. I've got to call my denturist because I have to... You're supposed to use, like in your lower plate, a tiny bit of adhesive on one side, a tiny bit on the other, and then a little bit for right under your teeth. Your front. So that it's just a little here, here, here. You're supposed to use the absolute minimum of glue to keep the things glued in, and then just a little bit, you know, on the side, front, and then maybe down the middle for your top plate. I have to fill my lower tray with a huge worm-like amount of dental adhesive and then grind it down so that it's just a massive amount. And even at that, I'm always having to go, because if I don't, these things, even filled with dental adhesive, still come loose, just with the shape of my mouth as I talk and do things. Very, very frustrating. So I gotta call my denturist today. Gotta get that done. Yay. But it's also 6:39 a.m. late. It is Thursday, the 14th of December. I have a therapist appointment today at 9 a.m. in Olympia. I live in Shelton. We are 20 miles away from Olympia. That's 20 minutes via the highway on the two-lane highway, one there, one back. So if there's any sort of accident or anything that happens, forget it. You're stuck for an hour and more. That's the only way to get to Olympia from Shelton, minus, you know, small back roads, which I don't have a GPS unit. I don't drive the back roads. I have no idea how to use the back roads to get anywhere. Excuse me. And so I've got to get there, and if anything happens on the way, then it's going to be bad. So I'm leaving at about 8 to 8:15 to get there at 9 o'clock. So thumbs up. I mean, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good appointment, but that just means I got to get this uploaded before I go for my 9 o'clock. I've just had not that good a morning. Oh my gosh. Last night, I think it was last night. Did I find out about this last night? I'm not sure. I might have heard that Buki, 2988, divorcing his wife. If you follow Twitter or anything like that, I did like an 8-tweet thing on the whole situation where I've had to unfollow him. I cannot deal with that. I really, at this moment, I can't. I was crying and it just hurt like I was knifed in the chest. So I've had to unfollow. I can't watch. I can't read what he's got. It's just, when I was married to my wife and she was dying in front of my eyes, that sort of thing, it destroys relationships. 99% of the time what happened to my wife, I mean, before she even had heart surgery because of her failing heart, I was already on disability for my own back injuries. That puts a huge strain on relationships because, you know, we'd been making about $100,000 a year, which sounds like a lot. But to show how little it actually is, both I and my wife were having to stay rent-free in the top half of her parents' house. They lived downstairs, we lived upstairs. Even at $100,000 between the both of us, for 2 years staying rent-free in her parents' house, we were still barely able to make it on $100,000 a year. And then, of course, I got injured and I was on disability. And then her heart failed so badly she had to have heart surgery to replace 2 heart valves. And after she replaced 2 heart valves, one of them failed entirely and the other one was failing. But we couldn't go in and do more surgery on her heart. She had had Hodgkin's lymphoma as a teenager. No doctor listened to her or her mother because they were just women. What do they know? Finally, one doctor said, you know what? Those grapefruit-sized tumors all over your daughter's body, I think you're right. I think there is an issue. And so they went in and yeah, it was Hodgkin's lymphoma. That's a horrible cancer. They had to go in and remove these grapefruit-sized tumors from like here and here, all over in the inside of her body. They had to open her up from underneath her sternum down to her pubic bone because she had exploratory surgery to make sure they got all of the tumors out. And then When she had to have heart surgery, of course, that meant she had a scar that split her open from here down to the bottom of her sternum because they had to crack her chest open so that they could get to her heart. So she had a big old scar from right here all the way down to her pubic bone. And then, of course, the set birth of our second child, our middle child, let's see, first she'd had the child from a previous relationship, who is in Montana right now. He's like I can't even remember how old he is now, right off the top of my head. He was born in '96 though. He lives in Montana. My two children that are here still, they're, my daughter's like 15 and my son is like 13 and some, so I don't know exact dates. I forget how it works out. I know their birthdays though. That's a good thing. April 2004 and August of 2002. Thumbs up on that. Let's see if I can try and remember what I was talking about. It was the... yes. But all three of her children have been cesarean, had been, since she's dead, had been cesarean. So she had a big old scar across the base of her pubic bone that went across. That's okay, you couldn't really see that scar. But then, of course, afterward, her ovaries blew up and she had to have a hysterectomy, total hysterectomy. That, well, it wasn't a total hysterectomy. It left from her cervix on down, everything was there, but from her cervix up was just pulled out and disposed of because everything was exploding and she was dying. Her abdomen was filled with blood. So she had all sorts of massive scars. But because of that, when she had her heart surgery, the surgeon came out to me and he talked to me and he said that, you know, she had been dying on the table. If it had been even another day, it would have been too late. But her heart was much, much smaller than it should have been for a person her size. It was just a mass of scar tissue. What they did, because she was at the last bit of this type of treatment, they used to give massive radiation and massive chemo. But then they discovered when they did that, all the people that they saved at an earlier age were dying at age 40 because their heart and lungs were just falling apart from the onslaught of radiation and chemo. That's what happened to her. She was one of the last few people that had that. So the radiation that saved her life as a teenager killed her as a 30-year-old going on 40-year-old because she died at age 41. And it was pretty terrible watching her die. I mean, she went from being a vibrant, independent, living, warm person who was a nurse, not a nurse's aide, she was a nurse, a licensed practical nurse working at a nursing home, which is where I met her as a nurse's aide, and I hung around her like a lovesick puppy until finally, because we were taking too long, everybody else that worked as matchmakers got us together on a date, and from that point onward, it was inevitable we got married. But she spent 10 years of our marriage, our 12-year marriage, dying slowly in front of my eyes. Now, my back injury, that was enough. And it is true. It is enough. Relationships, marriage, dealing with other people. My back injury, when it happened, that took me out of the workforce, is usually enough to destroy a marriage or a relationship. Because people, when this sort of thing tends to happen, you'd think that it's a rally around point. In reality, that destroys marriages. And then when she had her heart surgery and spent 10 years slowly dying in front of my eyes, that kills marriages. That destroys marriages. Statistically, people that stay together after something like that, we don't exist. Because it destroys marriages. Now, of course, that means that people are gonna last. There's gonna be marriages that flourish under stuff like that, and ours was one of them. The sicker she got, the tighter our orbit became. Until the last few years, we didn't need anybody else. It was just her and me, and to hell with the rest of the world. We only needed each other. And so we stayed together, and it was painful because I had to watch her die in front of my eyes. Literally, she spent 10 years and then came home on hospice from the last time that she was in the hospital. And so we got a hospital bed and she came home to die in our living room. And then we thought she was going to be 3 to 6 months. And instead, 3 weeks later, I got to watch her body die in my living room. So, main point though, is when I heard about and read on Buki's subreddit about what happened between him and his wife, it's a mutual decision. They still love each other, though they're not in love with each other anymore. They're breaking up mutually. He had to push to make sure that she got her half of the stuff because they just amicably are splitting stuff. And she was happy taking a smaller amount, and he's saying, no, 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 you're going to take this too. Because they still care for each other, they just don't care for each other. And I was crying hard while tweeting about it this morning, and as you can see, I'm still having problems with it now, but I can't. I wish the best for Buki. I wish the best for his wife. I mean, it's awesome. He's lost a lot of weight. He's gonna have a good long life ahead of him, and that's a good thing. Only I can't. I mean, I and my wife, I never liked hearing about anybody that had a divorce during that time. I didn't like anybody that just gave up and quit, because I'm stuck with my wife until the very bitter end. And even though I know he's not me, their situation is not mine, the irrational part of my brain right now and the emotional part of me, I just can't. So I used to follow him, I used to watch him, and I can't, at least for the foreseeable future. He's I've got my therapy appointment today. I just can't go in like this. I can't go in actually having mental issues. Oh, that's good. This is how my day is going. So yeah, it's I'm trying to deal emotionally with stuff like that, and trying to deal with getting stuff ready early so I can head out on my appointment, because I've got that, I gotta make it to Olympia. Which if you watch like reviews of movies, there's this one guy that I watch, Jeremy Jahns, Jahns. I think he still lives in Olympia. At least he did for a while. I don't know if he still lives in Olympia now. I really like his stuff. It's like, man, I think it's cool if he still lives there and all that, so I don't know. Anyway, though, what I'm going to do is I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab, because I'm at just about 15 minutes and I'm going to have to hurry up and get this thing rendered so I can make it to my appointment. But I'm going to thank 20 to 25 people for having left me comments. I'm not reading the comments now. I'm going to read the comments after the video, after I get back from my appointment. So, and thumbs up everyone I read, answer as many as I can, because I answer as many as I can. I read as many as I can. So I spend a lot of time in the comments. Thumbs up on that. I'm going to thank 20 to 25. It's a range. I count in American Sign Language on my hand right here in front of my face, and I still get confused. So if I mispronounce your name, no disrespect is intended. I am an American English speaker, obviously, and we are terrible at names. So, We have Okay Then, son of a gun. And oh boy, it's 4LL3XROU. Thank you very, very much. Salahuddin Ali. I sure hope I'm close. Thank you very, very much. Canamedia 101. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Sean Minto. Thank you very, very much. One Lost Alien. Ooh, very, very cool. Thank you very, very much. Hetalia, California. I think it is. Thank you. Frippin' War. Thank you very much. Zakune. Zakune. I sure hope I'm close. And Claude5190. Thank you very, very much. Good to see your name in the comments. Damn son, where did you find this? Thank you very, very much. Mateus Vulture. Greatly appreciated. And then there is Benji Spooderman. Son of a gun. Communist Chicken. Son of a gun, how about that? And then there is Nelson Hernandez. Thank you very, very much. DJ Ex-Girlfriend. Thank you. Eber Aguilar. I sure hope I'm close. Thank you very, very much. Nano Hazard, which I still think is a very cool name. Thank you very, very much. Kahil. Kahil. Thank you very, very much. Lord Penata. No, Pena Nieto Games. I sure hope I'm close. And then Matty Gamer HD 22XX. Thank you very much. And then we have the Cheater Minecraft. Son of a gun. Thank you very, very much. Mark Henry. Oh, it's either this one or this one. I can't remember, so I'm going to go with this. And Puckers. How about that? And then last but not least, we have Vata Luminous. It's hard for me to see even at this distance from here to the monitor. My glasses, I need glasses. My eyes are very, very bad and I can barely see. So one day I'm going to get glasses. But thank you all very, very much. It's stated to get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. That's a good thing. I am clinically depressed. As stated, my wife died just 3 years ago. When I say her cat committed suicide, cats are very volatile. Because she died, he, after 6 months, stopped drinking and eating. When you stop drinking, it damages your kidneys. He stopped drinking for a week. It killed him. It shut his kidneys down. And he was dying. Finally, in the end, I had to take him into the vet and have him put to sleep so that he wouldn't just die horribly at home. So he committed suicide. You can check out my links down below. I've got like Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, Google+. If you could donate to my GoFundMe or become a Patreon.com patron like any one of these wonderful, beautiful people here, that would be very, very cool. The government is going to start taking a whole busload of money out of my disability checks next month, leaving me less than $1,000 to pay my $1,000 of rent, plus my storage unit, plus all this other stuff. If you could help, that would be good. I really don't want to be homeless because I'm pretty sure that I'll die on the street. I need a sleep mask at night because I stop breathing when I sleep. I'm going to have a heart attack if I don't wear my sleep mask. There's no place to plug one in when you're sleeping under a bush. So if you could help, that would be awesome. But if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes. I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, that would be very cool. I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very cool too. But I would understand if you do not want to. My personality has rubbed people wrong my entire life. So if you don't like my videos, I understand. If you don't want to subscribe to the channel, I understand. But if you are down with it, I'll do my best to keep you entertained until the literal end of my time anyway. And I just turned 55 last month. Hopefully I'm going to last the allotted time that I have left. Hopefully at least till I'm 74, the average lifespan of the American man. That's 19 years from now. Hopefully I'll last longer. I want to live to at least 100. I'd love to be immortal, but I doubt that's going to happen. Look at my hair here. And I used to be, just 10 years ago, 2000, my beard was dark red. Just dark red. And then suddenly, it started going white right through here. I looked like a sorcerer, a warlock, with just these 2 white stripes here. And then I started having a white thing through my hair here. Now look at me. Oh, shucks. 19 minutes and 34 seconds. So I'm going to have a reaction video for the channel, a game video for the channel. If I don't fall asleep, hopefully one for my game channel, not just this channel. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. I got to get this thing done and ready so I can head off to my therapist appointment. So you take care and watch out for that bus.